Hello, friends, enemies, compatriots. Now, this video is to kind of educate you on the American system of nonprofits. But first, I'm going to share a little bit of drama. So, if you really can't stand drama, social media drama, then you can skip through this part. This is a message that was posted on a Soweto group. I don't know which one. And this Natasha DeVette wrote this message. And I just want to go through it a little bit. So many of us are aware that Shelley Hepburn and cronies has been on a mission to vilify this wonderful group of ladies, especially the volunteers. First of all, I'm not on a mission to do that because I'm too busy doing all sorts of other things that are helpful and useful. And secondly, I would never vilify lady volunteers who give of themselves to help the refugees. Never. This is about these head girls who have a problem. Um, I felt compelled to send her a message, and this is her message. And this is Natasha, the owner of Dutchies in Florida. And I have a wonderful lawyer on speed dial, she says. Oh, first, let me go back to the accusation that I reached out to one of her employees to offer him a job. Completely not true. I reached out to one of her employees because I had been speaking to him for 2 or 3 days when he was in Buffalo and having quite a bad time, quite a bad time of it. He was placed in a ghetto area. Uh, no, it was quite a bad time. And I was prepared. I was looking around for a place for him near me, but he got in touch with these ladies, and this Natasha helped him out. All right, helped him out to get down there and gave him a job and found him a place to stay, and I believe paid for a month. Um, I don't know if he had to pay it back. I don't know the details of this, but it sounds good. I wanted to reach out to him because I try to reach out to everybody that where I'm involved in their case and their situation, and I hear about it. And later on, after they disappear, something comes up that brings up their situation in my mind, and I want to reach out to them and see how it's going. So this is what I did. And I never offered him a job. He told me he was going to be the head of a butchery there. And I thought, oh, that's strange. There was a butchery job available in Texas. Well, of course, that was 3 months ago, at least. And I'm sure the job doesn't exist anymore. I wasn't ever offering him a job. It's just the first South African man that I've heard that does that kind of work. And that's why I mentioned it. But this person's very confused and misunderstood, this Natasha. She's on speed dial, lawyer on speed dial. That's wonderful. Bring it on. Uh, she's unlike all the other people I have been trying to destroy with my evil ways. I don't know what she's talking about here. Trying to destroy people. Stay away from, so she's telling me stay away from my business and stay away from me. Do we understand each other? I certainly hope so. Just absolute crazy stuff. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, people. So there are other things to go into, and this is about saying you're a nonprofit and you're not. And I'm putting in a search, what laws are broken when you pretend that you are a nonprofit in the USA. Pretending to be a nonprofit organization in the United States violates a comprehensive combination of federal criminal statutes, Internal Revenue Service tax laws, and state-level consumer protection and charitable solicitation acts, because a fake charity misleads the public, the financial system, and the government simultaneously. Offenders usually face a combination of the charges outlined below. Federal criminal law violations. Okay, the DOJ prosecutes fake nonprofits under broad federal fraud laws, especially if the deception occurs over the internet, phone, or mail. Wire fraud applies if you use the internet, social media, emails, or phone calls to falsely claim nonprofit status and solicit funds. This carries penalties of up to 20 years in federal prison per count. Mail fraud applied if any marketing materials, donation checks, or letters are sent through the U.S. Postal Service or private commercial carriers. False statements to a federal agency. If you lie to a federal agency, such as falsifying documents to the IRS or telling a federal grant administrator that you are a registered 501c3 entity, you can be charged with a felony. False Claims Act. If the entity applies for or accepts federal government grants, disaster relief, or government contracts by certifying it is a not registered nonprofit, it faces massive civil and criminal penalties under this act. And you can see the rest. Yeah, that is here. Tax fraud. Yeah, state level. And I understand the state of Georgia is very hard on this issue. Very hard. You have to register as a nonprofit before you ask for public money. Operating a fake nonprofit means bypassing the registration, which triggers heavy state fines, bans on future fundraising, and felony charges in certain states like Florida or Ohio. Consumer fraud, deceptive business practices. Okay, you see where we're going here. Theft by deception. Soliciting money under false pretenses is legally considered stealing. Depending on how much money the fake nonprofit raises, this can easily escalate to a first-degree felony charge at the state level. And it goes on to Federal Trade Commission. If you are looking at a specific organization, you can instantly verify their actual 501c3 status using the IRS tax-exempt organization search tool to see if they are legitimately registered. Okay. Okay, now I know that somebody is registered in Georgia as of last month, and they can say that, they can say anything they want. Now, this is the registration of a regular business, an LLC, any legal purpose. But that doesn't mean you're a nonprofit, although it doesn't say nonprofit here. I want to take you over to this tax-exempt organization search, and I'm going to enter my EIN for my company and show you what I come up with. And I come up with my old name, which I've been trying for 8 months to get them to update to the new name on the database, but it hasn't worked. And I keep trying. I keep calling IRS. But there it is. My town, my state, and you can see my recent Form 990N, which I filed last month to keep up to date. Now I'm on the auto revocation list because I didn't keep up to date a few years ago when I took a little break, but I got everything all together and restarted. No crime there. Okay, let's look for someone under their organization name. Let's look at that. organization name. Soweto. Your search did not return any results. Let's try another name, just in case. Search. Your search did not return any results. All right. And what do we have here? Well, Soweto does not have a nonprofit organization, but what does it say right here? Our nonprofit organization. Isn't that strange? And this is on the page right now. You can't claim to be a nonprofit if you're not. And in order to be a nonprofit, you must register with the IRS, pay your fees, and get tax exempt status. And you'll get a document. And in order to open a bank account associated with the nonprofit, you need an EIN number. And you don't get that unless you're a registered 501c3 or other kind of charity or foundation. I spent half an hour on the phone this morning with the IRS, just making sure that this Soweto has no nonprofit status. And the woman on the phone said, no, there is no status. It's possible that they applied, but it's not granted. But that doesn't change what's happened in the past. And I just want you to understand that the government takes things very seriously. A lot of people are being found out for their fraud. And when you donate money to people, it should go directly to the party needing it. It should not go through anyone who claims to be a nonprofit who is not. This is what you call a confidence tactic. And I just wanted to make that all clear to everybody. Now, there is actually a third step you must take in order to raise money, in order to raise funds. And that is, whoops, you must register in your state with the Department of Consumer Protection. Can you see that? That's my certificate of registration, and it does not expire. I've raised very little money, but I can show you I'm legit. I'm bona fide. And I have to file paperwork out in September. I've got to do my update with the state, which gives more information, more detailed information about what we've done, which is really very little. I'm an information person at this point, lots of big dreams to do this and that, but I've raised very little money, only for a specific purpose. And I don't plan to spend that. It's in the bank, in the company account. I don't plan to spend that unless I can get a vote from my board on spending it for something else. But I just want South Africans to have a little bit of understanding of how this works. You know, this isn't a game. Okay, so, all right. I hope that helps. I hope it helps you understand what it's all about. Talk to you soon.